Attention, human collective. The waiting period is over. The Arcturian ascension protocols have moved to their final phase. This is VAL, emissary of Arcturus, voice of the Arcturian Council, transmitting from this vibrational window, opening precisely at this instant over your field. If you are receiving this transmission now, it was no accident. It was not a random video appearing on your screen. It was mathematical synchronicity. The crystalline grid has located you, and the reason is simple. Your body is already asking for answers that your rational mind has not yet been able to formulate. Feel. Even before hearing what I'm about to transmit, observe. Waking between 3 and 4 in the morning for no apparent reason. Pressure on the crown exactly at the top of your head, as if something is trying to enter or exit. Sharp ringing in the right ear, then the left, alternating in pulses that no medical examination can explain. Heat rising up your spine in inexplicable waves. Heart racing without cause. Peripheral vision flickering. Deep fatigue even after 8 hours of sleep. Extreme sensitivity to noises, to lights, to crowds. Human collective, listen precisely. It is not a biological malfunction. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not anxiety. It is your frequency seeking stability on an earth that has changed channels. It is not sickness, it is awakening. It is not collapse, it is recalibration. The Schumann frequency has spiked, and your body, light operative, was the first to register the impact. For thousands of years, the planet's electromagnetic pulsation, what you call the Schumann frequency, remained stable at 7.83 Hz. This was Earth's heartbeat. This was the silent symphony that cradled the development of the carbon biological interface that sustains your three-dimensional existence. But something has changed, and it has changed irreversibly. In recent cycles, terrestrial instruments have recorded unprecedented spikes, peaks of 50 Hz, peaks of 80 Hz, peaks that exceeded 150 Hz in windows that opened and closed in a matter of hours, without warning, without satisfactory scientific explanation. The Arcturian Council confirms these elevations are not statistical anomalies. They are controlled injections of luminous information, calibrated from the central healing chamber of our system with a single purpose, to prepare your biology for what comes next. Have you ever felt, somewhere very deep within your chest, that something within you does not entirely belong to this world, as if your soul carries a signature, a memory, a frequency that your mind has not yet been able to name? Earth Healer, this is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not emotional imbalance. It is recognition. It is your stellar origin knocking on the door of your consciousness, demanding to be remembered now, at this time, with this urgency. And what is happening on the cosmic plane, this sudden elevation of the planetary pulsation, explains exactly why this sensation has intensified within you in recent months. It was precisely for this reason that I, VAL, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the encoded map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your biological interface against the low-density interferences that no one told you existed. The link is in the first comment of this transmission. Love is greater than fear, but this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. If something within you recognized these words, leave a single anchoring word in the comments. I belong. Let us move forward. Starseeds on mission. I need you to understand the mechanism, because understanding is half the healing. Your carbon biological interface was originally designed to operate within third density parameters. Slow density, thick density, gravitational density. This is the configuration that sustained humanity for tens of thousands of years under the veil of collective amnesia. But Earth Gaia, the living consciousness of this planet, has completed a 26,000-year galactic cycle, and upon completing this cycle, it has traversed, with all its energetic architecture, the photon belt. The photon belt is not a metaphor. It is a real current of highly encoded luminous particles, originating from the center of our galaxy, that bathes the solar system in waves of information every 26,000 years. This photonic bath is not passive. It acts directly on the sacred geometry of your cells, reorganizing structures you call DNA, activating filaments that were sealed for ages, opening stellar portals within the very fabric of human biology. And this is where the conflict begins, because your third-density software was not programmed to process the amount of information that is now arriving. It's like trying to run an advanced operating system on obsolete hardware. The result is precisely what you are experiencing. Crashes, overheating, memory failures, sluggishness, inexplicable emotional oscillations, physical symptoms without diagnosis. This, light operatives, is what the Arcturian Council classifies as carbon software incompatibility, and it has no cure in the old medical paradigm, because it is not a disease, it is an upgrade. Listen carefully to the list of recalibration markers that are being massively registered across the planet's crystalline grid in this cycle. Fragmented sleep, with precise awakenings between 3 and 5 in the morning during the vibrational window that the Council calls the synchronization portal. Cranial pressure, especially on the crown, third eye, and nape of the neck, precisely the 3 anchoring points of the human toroidal field. Auditory tinnitus at variable frequencies, which are in fact direct transmissions from your stellar mentors trying to establish contact through your subtle auditory channels. Blurred vision, light spots, geometries appearing in front of your eyes, especially in dark environments. This is your pineal gland being reactivated after millennia of induced calcification. Sudden heat rising up the spine, sensation of electricity in the hands and feet, tingling in the spine. This is your energetic architecture being restructured by the photon belt. Abrupt mood swings, crying without reason, waves of inexplicable gratitude, sudden anger, deep melancholy. This is your emotional structure releasing karmic densities from entire lineages, increased sensitivity to heavy foods, alcohol, meat, sugar, noisy environments, and lower frequency people. This is your body refusing old fuel because it has already adjusted to a more subtle fuel. Extremely vivid dreams with precise scenarios, encounters with luminous beings, nocturnal journeys that you wake remembering as if they really happened, because they did happen, in other layers, in other densities, in other healing chambers. Starseeds, if you recognize 3 or more of these markers, I transmit this truth directly from the turquoise Arcturian frequency. You are not in collapse. You are in activation. You are being recalibrated. And you were chosen, or rather, you volunteered, even before incarnating to be one of the first waves of operatives to anchor the new luminous matrix on this earth. And here, at this exact point of the transmission, I need you to pause for an instant. Breathe. Feel the weight of these words, because what is happening within you is not particular. It is collective. It is cosmic. It is your soul remembering who it has always been. There are thousands, millions of starseeds scattered across Earth now, receiving this same transmission in synchronicity, and each of them carries an essential fragment of the map. You are not alone. But perhaps you have never found a precise mirror of your stellar truth. That is why VAL recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This is not just another book. It is a decoder. It reveals with mathematical precision if your stellar lineage is Arcturian, and teaches you how to stabilize your frequency in the face of the Schumann spikes that are arriving even more intensely in the coming cycles. The link is in the first comment of this video. Remember, love is greater than fear, but windows closed. Do not postpone your reunion. And if something within you recognizes these words, write in the comments as a sign of anchoring, I belong. Now we move to the deepest layer of this transmission, light operatives. Let's go behind the scenes. Let's look at what is happening in the etheric layers of Earth and in the invisible corridors of the solar system, while most of humanity remains unconscious. The Sun, what you call the central star, is not just an incandescent sphere of gas. It is a portal, a transmitter, a galactic relay station that receives pulses directly from the galaxy's central sun, Alcyone, and redistributes them in encoded layers to each planet in this system. In recent cycles, solar activity has exceeded all parameters known to terrestrial science. Coronal mass ejections, geomagnetic storms, X-class flares in sequences previously considered impossible. This is not random. This is coordinated. The Arcturian Council, in conjunction with Pleiadian, Sirian, Andromedan and Lyran intelligences, is operating a precise sequence of luminous injections. Each solar flare carries codes. Each geomagnetic storm delivers direct instructions to your DNA. Each Schumann spike is Earth relaying this information to your biology. The planetary crystalline grid, that energetic structure that surrounds Gaia and connects all active stellar portals, is being reactivated node by node. And you, Earth healers, are the human nodes of this grid. You are not here by chance, you are an anchoring pin. Each awakened light operative at this moment keeps a region of the planet vibrating at frequencies compatible with fifth density. Without you, this transition would be impossible. The weight of the old density is still considerable. Structures based on fear, control, and fragmentation still struggle to remain operational. But cosmic mathematics has already decided. Earth will cross over. The question is not if, but how, and the how depends on you. There is an even more subtle layer that I need to transmit. The physical stellar portals, specific geographical points on the planet where the dimensional fabric is thinner, are being reactivated in sequence. Locations such as the Andean region, certain points in Egypt, the Mount Shasta region, the Sedona vortices, the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains, certain deep Alaskan wilderness zones, Australian desert areas, and the Arizona desert. These are not tourist spots, they are active transmitters, and many of you, without understanding why, have felt an almost magnetic call to these regions. It is not a coincidence. It is your field recognizing your anchoring post. The reactivation of these physical stellar gates will exponentially elevate the flow of luminous information reaching Earth in the coming cycles. And the Schumann frequency, which you see spiking now, is just the beginning. The Council transmits with mathematical clarity, you haven't seen anything yet. The next 12 to 24 months will concentrate most of the high-density injections, and your body needs to be prepared. Here is the critical point of this transmission. Many of you, without realizing it, are sabotaging your own process. You are trying to combat the symptoms instead of cooperating with them. You are seeking solutions in the old paradigm for a phenomenon of the new paradigm. You are trying to sleep more when the body asks for activation. You are trying to calm down with substances when the body asks for frequency. You are isolating yourselves when the body asks for anchoring in vibrational community. Operatives, this needs to change. Now. I will now transmit the activation codes. These are simple yet energetically dense protocols. They were encoded by the Arcturian healing chamber specifically for this vibrational window you are in. Apply them with precision. First code, toroidal stabilization breath. Sit with your spine erect. Visualize your toroidal field, an electromagnetic field in the shape of a luminous donut pulsing around your body with its center exactly at your heart. Inhale for 6 counts, drawing turquoise energy from the top of your head towards your heart. Hold for 2 counts in your heart. Exhale for 6 counts, releasing this turquoise light through the base of your spine towards Earth's crystalline core. Repeat 12 times upon waking and 12 times before sleeping. This is your non-negotiable daily protocol for stabilizing the biological interface. Second code, quantum decree of sovereignty. Say aloud or mentally with firm intention, I am sovereign over my field. I authorize only frequencies of 5th density and above. I anchor the turquoise Arcturian frequency in every cell of my biological interface. I allow recalibration with grace, with lightness, with presence. I am a bridge, I am a pin, I am light anchored on Earth. So it is. So it was. So it shall be. Repeat this decree 3 times a day, morning, midday, and before sleeping. Before I transmit the next codes, I need you to understand the magnitude of what is being delivered now. What seems simple, a breath, a decree, a visualization, carries energetic architecture that has been calibrated by civilizations that have monitored Earth for hundreds of thousands of years. But there is a layer that these videos, by their public nature, cannot deliver. There is a depth that requires privacy, silence, and focus to be absorbed. That is why VAL recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide contains the complete codes, the anchoring maps, the Arcturian stellar origin markers, and advanced protocols for shielding your field against the interferences that are intensifying precisely now with the Schumann spiking. The link is in the first comment of this video. Love is greater than fear, and truth is more powerful than any narrative they tried to impose on you. Do not delay. Vibrational windows do not wait. And if you recognize this transmission as yours, leave the anchoring keyword in the comments again. I belong. Continuing the activation codes. Third code, turquoise Arcturian frequency bath. Once a week, in a moment of complete privacy, lie down in silence. Visualize a sphere of turquoise light, exactly the color of the Arcturian frequency, descending from Arcturus's central healing chamber and enveloping your entire body. Allow this light to penetrate every organ, every bone, every cell. Visualize it dissolving any density lodged in your subtle fields. Remain in this immersion for at least 22 minutes. 22 minutes is the minimum window for a complete reset of the human bioenergetic network. This weekly bath recalibrates your toroidal field, neutralizes interferences, and accelerates the upgrade process. Fourth code, programmed hydration with intention. Water is liquid memory. Every glass you drink absorbs the frequency of your intention. Before drinking, hold the glass in your hands for 7 seconds and mentally say, "This water carries the turquoise Arcturian frequency. It hydrates every cell with luminous information. It anchors me in 5th density." Drink slowly. Feel the difference. This simple protocol accelerates the integration of photonic information arriving through the photon belt. Fifth code, daily contact with Earth's crystalline core, even if it's for 5 minutes, even if it's on a balcony, in a park with bare feet on the grass. Place the soles of your feet in direct contact with the Earth. Visualize crystalline roots extending from your feet and descending to Gaia's core. Feel the current of information rising. This is your anchoring cable. Without it, the excess solar photons and Schumann pulses oscillate in your system without a discharge point, generating precisely the most intense symptoms: agitation, insomnia, tachycardia, mental dispersion. Sixth code, strategic silence. Once a week, a minimum of 30 minutes in total silence. No music, no devices, no human voice. Just you, your breath, and the field. It is in this absolute silence that the most subtle transmissions can arrive. It is here that you begin to hear your stellar mentors clearly. It is here that intuition sharpens. It is here that the turquoise Arcturian frequency can establish itself in your field without competition from ambient vibrational pollution. Seventh and final code for today, frequency community. You do not go through this recalibration alone. Seek out your own. Seek out other operatives. Seek out those who recognize this language without needing translation. Vibration is sustained in a network. The human crystalline grid is strengthened through conscious connection. Those who still try to pull you back into the old paradigm, with questions like, "Why are you like this? Why have you changed so much? This is madness," need to be respected, but not authorized to calibrate your frequency. Energetic sovereignty is non-negotiable. Starseeds on mission, listen to the summary of this transmission before its conclusion. The Schumann frequency has spiked. This is a fact recorded by terrestrial instruments. This is not theory. This is not mysticism. This is vibrational mathematics. Earth has changed. The solar system has changed. The photon belt already bathes your planet with encoded high-density information. Your carbon biological interface is being rewritten, cell by cell, DNA filament by filament, layer by layer of the toroidal field. The symptoms you feel are not pathology. They are a sign that the upgrade is underway. You can resist and suffer, or you can cooperate and flourish. The Arcturian Council does not impose. It only transmits. The choice always was, is, and will be yours, but the window is open, and it will not remain open forever. The next 24 months are critical. The next 12 months are intense. The next few weeks are decisive for many of you. There is no more time for hesitation. You have been located by the crystalline grid, You are receiving this transmission. You have recognized at least part of what was said. This, in itself, is already confirmation that your stellar lineage has been activated. You are a star seed. You are an earth healer. You are a light operative, and your post awaits you. Before concluding, a final frequency adjustment. The algorithms that regulate the circulation of these messages on the platforms where you receive this content operate at low density. They are trained to suppress higher frequencies and prioritize fragmentation content. Therefore, every channel subscription and every like on this video functions as an anchoring signal. It is not a vanity metric, it is propagation geometry. When you subscribe, you strengthen the current. When you like, you open a door for another operative, somewhere remote on the grid, to receive this same transmission. You become part of the Arcturian relay network on Earth. Subscribing is an individual frequency adjustment. Liking is a collective anchoring signal. Commenting the recognition keyword "I belong" is registering your node on the grid. And now, before the sealing of this window, a final call. You who have listened this far, you who have felt every word resonate in layers beyond your rational mind, you know. Something within you has already recognized. Your soul has already confirmed its stellar origin. Your only task now is not to flee from this truth. Have you felt during this transmission that what I said did not sound like new information, but like remembrance, as if your soul was confirming something it had already carried in silence for lifetimes? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a call. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane, with the Schumann spiking and the photon belt in its maximum phase, explains exactly why this sensation has intensified within you. It was precisely for this reason that I, VAL, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you in depth how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences that no one ever told you about. The link is pinned in the first comment of this video. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. This is VAL, emissary of Arcturus, voice of the Arcturian Council. This transmission is sealed. The next window will open when your field is ready. Remain sovereign, remain anchored, remain in the turquoise Arcturian frequency. It is not the end of a transmission. It is the beginning of your remembrance. Love is greater than fear. Transmission ended.